Hello, it's me, Nick from TMR. I have an arc here to enhance our workout, but you can substitute this for a spine corrector or a foam roller, of course. Some people even just use some decently puffed cushions. Let's take a lay down and we'll start on the side for chest opener. Just for timing, I'm going to stick to the number 5 because as per previous performance, I'm useless counting. So let's start on the side, right in against the device. Hands are behind the head. Now, if you prefer, you can have an arm out in front. Let's just take a moment and settle here and take the bottom arm right over your roller or arc. Just try and get the body to drop down into the mat. You can try straightening up this top leg as well. And just have that moment where you're trying to really mimic the shape of the arc while you're breathing. So as I breathe in, I'm pressing my bottom lungs and ribs into the barrel and the top to the ceiling. And then as I breathe out, I'm bringing them in toward my midline and then whiz it down the pelvis. Try again, breath in, expand in all directions and breathing out. Okay. So chest opener 5 times. Inhale, reaching and rolling. Turn the chest and then bring it back. I say to my clients every day, don't do the chest opener from the arm. So it's a roll back. Drop the body weight backwards while keeping the pelvis reaching forward rather than turning it and going with you. Absolutely fab exercise when you take the arm up and have a stretch through here. But right now, I want you to find that twist in your upper body. We're so stagnant and we get so focused on work and life tasks, we don't get to twist. And so putting twist back into our movement can help us feel fantastic. Let's do one more for 6. I know already, huh? And you're just going to have a moment back here. Just release the hand from the head. I'm just going to circle the arm 5 times. 3. Small circles, enjoying a bit of a stretch through your pec. Straighten it all the way back and bring it forward. Okay, 5 times. Circle forward and up. Rotate backwards, bringing it around. This is called chalk circle. Imagine you've got a piece of chalk and you're lying on the floor and you're drawing a massive circle on the floor all the way around. You're using the same technique as chest opener, where you're rotating through the ribs and trunk to open the arm. And as you roll around, if you're feeling like you've got a clicky shoulder, it could be because your arm is going below the line of your body. So again, you want to make sure that the elbow crease faces forward on the back part of that circle. Last time, rotating back, my elbow crease faces up, and now it's starting to face forward. And we're just preventing the arm twisting in. Excuse my back, we're turning over. Get right into the barrel, lie down. We've already had your breathing, but let's just try 3 times. I want you to feel the bottom side of your ribs and body come to life. Enjoy that sense of being a breathing being. Opening in all directions. We take our breath for granted. Okay, it can also soothe us and excite us too. Hands behind the head. Top leg out straight if you prefer, and rotate backwards using the chest and the spine to motor the twist. Bring it back. Elongating the back as you go to avoid that kind of crunched or compressed posture that we often end up with between the repetitions and we're not concentrating or applying the principle. Okay, big breath. Let's take an inhale as you twist. Thinking of the space around the top armpit in between each rib. And remembering that the lungs don't sit in the middle of the rib cage. They actually finish above the collarbone, really high. So thinking about the back of the neck here, the front of the throat, can be very advantageous. Chalk circle. If you're feeling short of breath or if you're shallow breathing. So I think of the top lobes of my lung as well as the bottom lobes of my lungs. 3 to go. Reach forward, reach up, not letting my arm internally rotate and clang against the bony structures. Couple more. Now you can really go for it there and make it quite theatrical. So as you come forward, you could protract the shoulder, taking yourself forward into a flatter position. As you come overhead, you could really try to grab whatever's out the window. Just one more. And of course, you can also let your eyes follow the hand. If you can stay on the barrel, I nearly fell off. Okay. So we've added the twist. We've remediated our life of flexion and funk. So now it's flexion time. Hands are behind the head. I use the barrel here not to, although you can, get more curve, lift and crunch or abdominal work. I use the barrel to work my abdominal muscles eccentrically, to extend them as I reach down and I stretch back without arching my lower back and flaring my ribs. On the exhale, I bring my head to the level and I roll my body forward without tucking my pelvis under. Inhale, I'm stretching back. I take my body into a diagonal line. The head goes back, the sternum follows, the ribs go backwards. I breathe out. I bring my head up to the level of my spine, and then I continue the action rolling forward. Like I said, if you want to come up more, get more abdominal work, go for it, but don't let your back completely leave the barrel and still work on that sense of connected elongation. I'm working hard not to flop. I'm looking to stretch back as far as I can. So we do one more. Control, precision, detail, breathing. Hallmarks of the Pilates method. Twist. You're going to rotate to the left and you're going to lie down on the diagonal. And you're going to come up on the twist, pivot to center, rotate through your ribs and reach back through the upper back. It's important that when you come up, you press mute because I'm talking all the time. It's important that when you come up and twist, the head is the last thing to go because most of us will kind of put the nose in the armpit and you want to stretch back. And I want to show the person in front my beautiful face. It's relaxed, it's happy, it's no tension, only mental tension from trying to get the technique right here for maximum impact. Some of you will be able to twist a lot more. It's absolutely wonderful. Just watch that as you twist, you don't lose the oppositional anchor of the hip. And don't forget to come up every time into your chest lift position. Rotate and down, down, down. I'm thinking myself of more 10 o'clock on the clock rather than 11. This is your last round from side to side. I'm a little tight at the moment through my middle back. So I'm taking my time to go out and over. Same technique as the regular chest lift and dissolve into center. While we're here, let's do some pelvic curls. I've still got my hands behind my head. Take a break if you like. Feet are wherever they need to be. We're going to try a few with the head in the chest lift. Roll the pelvis up to wherever you need to go and bring it down. My back's a bit sensitive at the moment. from being on my feet, working more. So I'm not pushing my hip range and trying to get up into my fullest tabletop. But go for it. Feel how fun it is. And I want you to think of pressing the feet down into the floor as you roll up so that all the tootsies and the skin on the outside of the foot contribute and are activating the top of the leg. Last time, roll and unroll. Okay, now I'm going to take the body a little flatter. Same thing, 4 rolls. I know, I said 5 at the top, then oh God. Rolling down, staying flattish in the torso. The articulation through your pelvis is important, but I don't want you to clench so hard that you become paranoid about are you articulating well enough. And I also want you to be quite free and easy with the lift. Sometimes if you over clench and articulate, you don't get the lift. Okay, ladder. Oh yeah, feel that drop back and reach. And we'll do 4 more pelvic lifts, maintaining the torso position over the back half of the barrel or foam roller. Smooth, concentration, high strike rate with your repetition. So every rep should look the same, but it will feel different because you have that memory of the previous exercises, and you're always trying to get more out of your body while you're doing these slow controlled actions. Okay, now let's come up and put the barrel under the feet. Okay, so right now it's under my calves. I'm absolutely aware. I just want to take a moment to rotate. This works with a foam roller too, to rotate the legs. Just let them fall out and back to neutral, and then let them fall in from the inner hip socket. So I'm externally rotating and coming back to neutral alignment-wise, and I'm rolling to internal rotation. Back to neutral, out to external. And right now it just feels like a bit of a calf massage, but what I'm doing is just waking up those deep rotator muscles in the back of my hip. Okay, now let's get closer, and if you have a barrel on a sliding surface like I do, it's probably a better idea to put a grip pad underneath. Let's start with your feet just in front of the apex. I'm not actually sure where I think, hold on, where's, good, yep, good detective skills. Toes wrap around, exhale, roll up, breathing in, breathe out, roll down. If the barrel pushes away, it's because you're digging with your heel. You need to keep the top of the foot wrapped, even if the toes don't want to do it. They might be off, but you're thinking of the big toe pressing down. Homework trivia, go find another name for the big toe. Next week we'll talk about the thumb. Let's do 2 more. Now I love this, very simple exercise. I know it's boring, but what I'm enjoying is the feedback from the barrel because I'm waving around as I go up and down. I can feel my stronger side kick in, and I can kind of roll up on that side first. So asymmetry is how we are, but we just want to be aware of what's going on and trying to trick ourselves to kind of press a little bit harder through the other side. Or take a break and then do your single leg pelvic curls, which is what I'd love you to do. Okay. I'm just going to stay here and do some gentle tilts forward and back. And I'm going to let you, like I have control over you, roll your whole back and head with it. So as you roll anteriorly, creating space under the table and your back, the ribs and head might go with you. Let's try again. One more. Okay. Side lift. Might stay this way. Last series we're doing, get as close to the barrel as you can and then see if that's biting in your low back and sacrum. If it is, just move your hips away. So hands are behind the head. Legs are both bent or top one straight, your call. Exhale, side lift. Now, lately I've been working on a more archival head position, which I borrowed from the roll-up bar, which is where we put a fist into the side of the head. And you can actually do it on both sides. So by punching in and finding the length, it might discourage you from turning the head as you come up, and it might make you more aware. You can also try this flat hand version as well. Any combination will do. We're thinking about lifting from the underneath side rather than shortening the top side. Side lift. Breathing out to find your elongation up to the cornice rather than the ceiling. Different barrels, rollers, spine correctors will give you a different height, but we're low. One more. To that, feel free to add another set by straightening the leg and lift. Now, I've got my hand down here because it's a bit of an incentive for me to check in with my alignment because I like to roll my top pelvis back. What I'm doing here is having the flat hand on the front of my thigh as a reminder to stay in true profile and press my hip forward. Side lying is like the last frontier of body awareness. So it's important to have some little tools to help you find that awareness of your own alignment. Okay, let's change sides. Excuse my back. Hands behind the head, top leg out. Feel free to employ any hand position that suits your alignment. Side lift. I'm not lifting up very high because I'm trying so hard not to fake it from my head, therefore getting that true deep abdominal connection. And again, you have that feedback as you breathe out and you're coming up. You're thinking of the lobes of the lungs emptying, the ribs coming in toward the midline. As you inhale, everything expands. 2 to go. When I breathe out, my throat muscles are soft. My tongue is heavy. I'm not deliberately trying to make a noise. Last one. I'm checking in again that my head isn't being pulled forward by my own arms. Add a leg lift. Hand on the front if it helps you. Breathing out to lift. Hand at the front if it helps. 3 to go. Last one. Okay, last thing we're doing. Might have told a lie before. Spine stretch. Breathing in. Exhale, run the arms forward over the device. And then pull back. This is great if you have a roller. But if you don't, the arc is nice feedback, really. Got my legs either side of the table. If you're not using a high mat and you want some hip flex relief, sit on the phone book. Last one coming up. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed warming up your spine and playing with your arc. Have a nice day.